All right, guys, finally to step number 4. So in step number 3, we went to the intermittent phase where sometimes we use negative reinforcement, sometimes we didn't, which was just a tap that was simultaneously with the command. Sometimes we use positive reinforcement, sometimes we use the tap simultaneously with the command and positive reinforcement. But what the whole purpose and the aim of our goal is to kind of work our way towards 0 reinforcement. Once we're convinced that our dog absolutely knows the command and will do it every time without reinforcement, then we find ourselves in what we call the stimulus control phase, right? Stim control phase. And in the top phase of the pyramid, this is the goal, right? And this is I say and the dog does, right? I say a command and the dog does the command. If the dog fails to do the command, we have options. So we're going to come back over here to the graph, right? If the dog fails to do the command, step 1, 2, 3. Now we're going up here for step number 4. And this is our correction / punishment. Now, let me clarify. When I say correction, we're just showing the dog the right thing to do, right? We're taking the dog back into the reinforcement phase. When I say punishment, I don't mean that we're inflicting stress or pain on a dog. We have to always remember that it's forbidden without valid reason to cause pain or suffering. And those 2 valid reasons are to either save a human, right, or to save a dog. If my dog's jumping out a window and I have to catch him by his tail to save him, then, and his tail breaks, well, it hurt the dog, but at least I saved the dog's life. And I laugh when I hear Bart say, that's unless you threw the dog out the window to begin with. So anyhow, so we're at the correction punishment phase, stim control. I say, the dog does. If in the case I say my dog does not do, what do I do, right? Well, it's pretty simple. Now we're coming up here, and this is all a timing issue. So I say I gave the command and my dog failed to do, then what do I do? I add pressure until my dog does. Now, the difference between the negative reinforcement pressure and the correction or punishment is that the correction or punishment comes after disobedience, right? I said the command, my dog did not do what I asked, and so I applied the same pressure, the same level of pressure, right? You're not just going to go up on pressure just because your dog failed to do it. There could be some confusion or something there. So what we're going to do is just add pressure, and then when the dog does it, then we let off the pressure, right? And so the whole point is to reinforce the command, the right command. It's not to inflict pain or punishment. So over here on the pyramid, let's just write this in, positive punishment / correction. We use punishment and correction simultaneously just because it is punishment, because it's or correction, it's applied after disobedience. Often if the dog is confused or if you feel like the dog made a mistake and was not just defiant, then drop back down into the intermittent phase where you start reinforcing behaviors. So you can traverse this pyramid up and down as you need to, and you should, right? Up here, I like to call this the top of the pyramid where I say and the dog does. I like to call this the battery is charged section of the pyramid. Sometimes I say and the dog always does, right? But every now and then, like any battery, you need to drop down and reinforce. Drop down, I say, the dog does, and I click and reward. You're recharging the battery. You're boosting motivation again, right? Or I apply pressure that the dog looks forward to, right? Because pressure predicts a reward, which could be the removal of the pressure, or it could be the removal of pressure and the secondary reward, click ball, click food. But make sure to keep your battery charged. And that is step number 4, the correction or punishment.